Hey, fellow patriots, Beth from Ozark Prep Stutters here. I want to tell you something. I was excited about the debate last night because I hear President Trump's numbers are going up. And why is that important to me? I'm going to tell you something. Right now, the main reason that I feel our country needs President Trump to get reelected is because I truly believe he is the only one that will stand in the gap between us and complete and total loss of our First Amendment rights. We have a right in this country to free speech. Now, these platforms were given certain cover whenever they were new, whenever the internet was fresh and some of these platforms were just starting out. Our government gave them certain protections so they couldn't be sued. So the tech giants, at that time they weren't giants, remember they were smaller, but they lobbied for and got certain protections from the US government. They have now used these protections, turned them against half of the US citizens, the conservative half, turn them against us and are working hard to shut us out. Here's what got my ire up today. You may not be familiar with a little site called Patreon. I wasn't familiar with it until we started our YouTube channel. Patreon is a site that is for creators to share monetized content. So what does that mean? It means that, let's say you have a YouTube channel and you have a lot of subscribers and you talk about certain things on your YouTube channel, but certain things you consider sensitive content or special content or different content, and you want to offer that behind a paywall. So you start a Patreon account and you can set subscription levels. So let's say your subscription levels are $5, $10, and $20. For $5, people who visit your site, $5 a month, they might get 30% of your content. The next level, they might get 50%. The last level, they get 100%. And the content can be whatever you want it to be, right? So it can be written word, it can be video, it can be art, it can be whatever you want it to be. And the whole point of this is that it's supposed to be somewhat private. You are inviting people to pay to view this content, and basically, these should be folks who are really interested in what you have to say, right? That they are willing to pay a little bit extra. So Patreon is a way to help folks make some income while they're out there trying to share with you their knowledge, what they have to offer. I'm going to use an example. TJ Morris runs bearindependent.com. I don't know him personally, but have been following him for a long time. I have watched his videos all the way back from the beginning, whenever he had 60 freaking subscribers, and now he has almost 100,000 subscribers. Throughout the whole pandemic, Bear has been posting almost every day, doing at least an hour of content on the front end on YouTube, and then other hours and hours of content on the back end. He deserves to make some money for that time because his time is valuable. He runs multiple businesses, does multiple stuff, runs mags, does trainings, has a family, has a full life. But he's taking the time to share his knowledge and his skill set with people out there on the internet. And part of the way that he makes additional money for himself, his business, and his ministry, by the way, they run a big old ministry, is through their Patreon account. Some people are probably making $5,000, $10,000 a month off of that. That's maybe their entire business is out here being digital warriors, digital reporters, because God knows the regular news isn't doing their job, and they're out here fighting the good fight. And because of the type of content they are sharing, they are getting shut down. Now, I want to give you a little comparison. This is the kind of shit that gets me really fired up. And I'm sorry about my language. The Lord's still working on me, so you got to bear with me. I get fired up. Twitter, as you all know, started censoring people left and right over the past couple of weeks. Anybody who uses the 17th letter of the alphabet has been branded a harmful conspiracy theorist and is being shut down. Okay? The New York Post, one of the oldest newspapers in the United States, been in business for 144 years, was censored, shut down this week because they dared to write a story that was going to hurt Joe Biden. Like, how dare they? Okay? This is happening left and right. And these platforms are standing behind the view that we are private companies and we can allow whatever speech we want. Except, here's the thing. They're not acting as private companies. They're acting as publishers. They are censoring and altering what information gets out there. That's no bueno. You can't do that. But here they are. They're doing it. And so here Patreon jumps on the bandwagon and says, you know what? If we don't like what you have to say, we're going to ban you. Now, here's the thing about Twitter. Guess what Twitter doesn't ban? Guess what kind of speech Twitter deems is safe and okay for the masses? You ready for this? And I got data to back it up. Ready? Child pornography. Pedophilia. Pedophilia and child pornography, A-okay with Twitter. A-okay. But you dare write a story or make a comment about anybody on the left, the great Joe Biden, the amazing Chrissy Teigen, anybody who the left holds up as, representative of what it means to be on the left, you dare criticize them and you are gone. Your account is banned, or you are locked in Facebook, Twitter jail, or you are shut down. Your speech is immediately taken away. Immediately. And now here's Patreon jumping on the bandwagon. I guarantee you, Patreon has private accounts that are dealing in porn, that are probably supporting drugs, that are probably supporting violence. BLM probably has accounts. Antifa probably has accounts. Twitter allows the freaking Iranian heads of state to talk about death to Americans. But God forbid we talk about what's going on with Joe and Hunter Biden and their freaking laptop and, basically selling America out. God forbid we talk about treason. We talk about what is going on with Hillary Clinton, with Barack Obama, with Joe Biden, with that whole deep state mess, because they're going to come in and shut you down. In fact, there's a good chance that this video will get wiped and they might shut my channel down. My little tiny channel of 130 subscribers, because I dare speak out against the left and the deep state and the cabal and the CCP. This is where we are in our country, folks. This is war. This is a battle. And I'm going to tell you something. If President Trump does pull out this election and things go to hell in a handbasket, like a lot of us think, I want to tell you one of the most important things that you have to do, each and every one of us has to do. I have to do, you have to do, everybody. Anytime there is a local election, you have got to run, or you have got to throw your support around the most conservative of the conservatives. We have got to take back the ground fight here. We have got to get back into a position where we are in control of the narrative and we are allowed to speak freely. Because some of these folks that we are up against are evil, evil people. And I don't use that term lightly, okay? I shared a little bit about my background with you in my previous video. I know evil. I walked with evil. I recognize evil. And I'm telling you, some of these people, a lot of these people who are in charge on the left, who are running these social media platforms, who are leading in the news, they're bad, bad people. And their singular goal is to shut us down and to take over this country and to catapult us into their brand of the new world order. Joe Biden said it last night. I cannot believe President Trump got him to say it out loud, but he came right out and said it. They want to go after oil. They want to shut down any type of fossil fuels. They want to usher us into this new world order where China is a good guy, where China, who Joe Biden has done millions of dollars of backdoor deals with, are the good guys. They go on this Russia thing. Well, guess who has the connections with Russia? Guess whose son did a $3 million deal with the mayor of Moscow? Yeah, that would be Joe Biden. These are traitorous people who are selling our country down the river. And if we don't stand up and do something about it, all hope is lost. And it all starts with your very most basic fundamental right to express yourself in a free manner. The First Amendment. We have a right to speak out, especially in dissent. That was the whole point of the way the founders set this country up, was that we would never be subjected to the tyranny and the fascism that the left is putting on us right now. I find it so funny that Antifa calls themselves the anti-fascists, and they use fascist techniques to overpower, bully, and silence anybody who doesn't agree with them. That's pretty much the definition of fascism. But that's this world that we're living in, where, you know, upside down is right side up, and right is wrong, and wrong is right. And, you know, it's biblical, folks. It's biblical. The book wrote about this, talked about it 2,000 years ago. So that's my soapbox for today. When I heard that Patreon was going after these accounts, when there's so many evil, dirty, vile stuff that they allow to continue without even second thought, like, it just pushed me over the edge, you know? It's just ridiculous. Twitter, and, you know, they're just... You can talk about how pedophilia should be normalized. You can show photos that, you know, they claim people are over 18, but they obviously are children. You can talk about the vile, disgusting things that Chrissy Teigen talked about eating children and locking children up in basements, and on and on and on. But God forbid you call out the deep state or the cabal or the Clintons or the Bidens or the Obamas. God forbid. That's all I have to share today. I just had to get it off my chest. Like I said, I might get shut down. You might see this video, or it may be gone seconds after I post it. I don't know. I don't know how their artificial intelligence scanning is working. I do know that they do pay people to go around and tag videos that they feel is hate speech, or, you know, goes against the narrative. You know, YouTube, Google, you know, they are totally connected to the communist Chinese government, communists. So it makes total sense that they would be shutting us down. But that we would continue to allow that to happen in America just blows my mind. And here's the last thing I'm going to say before I sign off here. It amazes me that there are intellectuals on the left who will not stand up against what is being done to those of us on the right, because we all know history, and today they may be coming for me, but tomorrow they will come for you. They will. And, you know, that's what happened in Nazi Germany, that everybody stood by and let it happen, and finally there was nobody left to stand up for them. Thank God America was the superpower that we were back then, and let's hope that, you know, we continue going in that same direction. You got to get out there and vote. You got to vote. Vote 2020. Trump. Yeah.